I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 235 of the StrapSZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And before we get into the episode, guys, please make sure you head over to StrapSZN Podcast or StrapSZN Pod. The link in the bio on both their pages. That's our Twitter and Instagram pages for you. And that link will, show you where we're situated at streaming-wise. So audio, you've got the Spotify, Apple Podcast links, and so on and so forth. And then visually, the YouTube channel link is also there for you as well. So make sure you do that for us, guys. Flowz, I hope you're good. I'm excited for this one. But yeah, always got to make sure the boy's good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Very excited, like I said. Listeners, this is a bumper. It's going to be a bumper episode right now. Because, yeah, we'll explain why. But before we get into, I think, the real meat and bones of the episode, bro, let's start like we always do. There was some big fights this weekend that happened in the 135-pound and 140-pound division. We'll take it day by day as we normally do. Let's start with Friday's affair, as we have a new graduate from our, prospect list in Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn, the businessman Davis, was in action against Berinchyk on Friday, bro. And I'm sure you're happy to say it. Your boy showed up, and he showed out. I think it's fair to say, right?
Yeah, super impressive.
Definitely, Keyshawn has been on a bit of a tear, bro. His last two performances have been sensational.
Yeah,
nothing short of phenomenal. Backed up all the talk. He's a G, man. He's a G. I know you're a big fan of him and you find him hilarious, but I even feel like he's matured in his last couple of fights as well, Flowz, and just you can also see it from not just I think him as a person, but his performances have reflected that as well in the ring, how mature he is. And I'm super happy for him. Look, man, this fight here, I said it last week, I think we both said Keyshawn's going to win. But I was, there was an air of, uncertainty in the fact that, to me, Berinchyk was a serious opponent that could provide issues for him. So I didn't think that Keyshawn was going to blow him out of the water the way he did. Because to be honest, bro, he beat him up for 4 rounds. He made Berinchyk, who is he a gold medalist? I know he's got a, storied amateur background. I'm not too sure if he's a gold medalist in the Olympics, but I know he's decorated.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure he medaled, but I'm not sure if it's gold or bronze.
Let me
or silver.
Check if what medal
he's part of that cohort. He's part of that group.
That cabal of amazing
Ukrainian.
amateur Ukrainians. Like they all won medals at Olympics. Yeah, silver medal in London 2012.
Yeah.
So look, he's a storied amateur, and we first saw him against Navarrete, who was a very good fight in his own right, and he won in a very, very good fight. So this guy, I said to myself, he's good. It's not going to be an easy touch for Keyshawn. I was wrong. Keyshawn stepped up an even bigger level than we've seen before, and he destroyed this guy in 4 rounds, bro. Like I said, highly impressive stuff. He, to me, put the rest of the lightweight division on notice that, he's arrived now and he's here. But I think before we get into the fight itself, bro, I think there is some preamble talk we need to talk about because obviously the preamble, I think you sent it to me, obviously their little face-off and Keyshawn was talking and you was creasing because he said the way Keyshawn was talking was killing you. Berinchyk, who, I don't know, didn't look like he was understanding English, was giving it back as well, kind of. Following on from that, bro, we see Keyshawn randomly post a box that he received in his hotel room, which he claims is from Berinchyk and his team, and the box was full of bananas and watermelons.
He's laughing.
See, I shouldn't be laughing because it's mad, but but I saw that and I was crazy. Because if this has come from Berincyk's team, hey, if that's the new racism, give me more of that.
Crazy. I can't believe it's from Berinchy's team, man, because that's crazy.
Swear, the Ukrainians are like this, yeah? They're racist like this. Fairs.
That's
Fairs.
crazy.
And did you see the message as well? There
What
was
did
some
he say?
like broken English message of, oh yeah, for you to enjoy us. Something ridiculous. So I'm there thinking, rah, this is mad. How did we go from that to this? Like, where's this come from? Like, this guy can barely speak English. So where's this randomly come from? And Keyshawn's obviously brought it up in the press conference saying it's you guys. And Berinchyk team seemed baffled. They seem bewildered. Like, what's, huh? But obviously, I'm there thinking, look, if it is come from their team, Keyshawn, you better bang him up. You have to bang him up now.
And boy, did he bang him up.
He banged him up. But look, I think it was revealed afterwards, bro, that it actually hasn't come from Berinchy's team. It's come from Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Keyshawn's, I think after the fight, Keyshawn in an interview said that, he wants to apologize for coming at him because he realized it wasn't from him, it was from Teo. Yeah. And Teo basically took credit anyway. So, look, Teofimo's a weirdo. I'm just going to say that first and foremost, because he's been doing this. If you notice, he's been doing this racist baiting thing for a minute now.
Time. I've been hearing it, I've been ignoring it. I've been doing it for time.
I've ignored it for time, but I'm going to speak on it now because it's weird. It's so, I don't even know what he's on. Like, every time they talk about Crawford, he throw like a banana emoji and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. Weird guy.
Monkey and he's been.
Bro, he's moving like a clown. I'll be honest. Like,
and he's gonna get touched. Look, get touched outside the ring for it.
And he's not fighting. And the annoying thing is, he's not fighting in the ring. What are you doing, bro? Like, go and fight someone. Go and defend your belt or do something. You're out here calling out these guys, like calling out guys that I'm not gonna fight you. Like, there's guys in your division you can fight, and you're wasting time. If you're not gonna put up sharp, I don't even know what you're trying to do all this racist baiting thing. It's silly. So yeah, Teofimo's a widow. But anyways, back to Keyshawn. Now the fights come obviously, and the first thing I think it's very apparent, bro. It's just the size difference. First of all, I actually didn't notice it until now. Keyshawn's really big at this weight, by the way. Like he's low key a weight bully. I'll be honest. Yeah. The way he's towering over these guys, and the way he's towering over Berinchyk, and the way he's like much bigger than him, I said to myself, boy. But the fight itself, bro, like I said, just from round one, obviously Berinchyk has tried to start, I think, on the outside a bit more cautious, trying to use his footwork and whatnot. So I think the first round was a bit cagey. But every time Berinchyk tried to come in, Keyshawn was hitting them with shots that were... I noticed the meaningfulness of Keyshawn's shots from the off. Like, he wasn't trying to hold back. He was really trying to damage Berinchyk. And I think by the second round, bro, second or third round, Berinchy's face is all bloodied up and everything. I'm thinking to myself, rah. Yeah. Like, nose bleeding, mash up. So Keyshawn can, like, I don't think people take into account his power too tough, but I think he's shown in the last two fights that he can really bang. Like, he has power when he wants to. When he sits down in his punches, he can be devastating. And I think that power was in full effect on Friday. So Berinchyk is trying to use fancy footwork and trying to angle him a little bit, and it's just not working. Keyshawn is with him every step of the way, and every time they're coming in close to exchange, he's banging him up, banging to the body, really beating this guy up in there. And I'm watching Berinchy's face get worse and worse and worse, and it's like he's running out of ideas fast. There's nothing he can do to overcome everything that Keyshawn is offering to him, and you're seeing Keyshawn get more and more confident. So obviously, by the time the fourth round has come, he dropped him twice, right? It was twice, I think he dropped him.
Yeah, I think he dropped him in the second or third with a body shot.
Body shot. And I was like, wow, because it kind of came out of nowhere in the sense that, but obviously Berinchy's gone down. He's beat the count now. Keyshawn celebrated, but that first one, he's really celebrated a little bit. Now, from there, it was a wrap, bro. I think, the third round was rough for Berinchyk, and in the fourth round, again, he dropped him again with a peach of a body shot. It didn't even look like it was hard, I'll be honest, bro. It didn't look like it connected properly, but it connected well, but it didn't look like it was like a banger of a shot. But we've seen many times with these body shots, when they're placed correctly, it does damage regardless. And obviously his body was a bit weak from the body attack that he sustained throughout the entire fight up until this point. So when Berinchyk went down that second time, bro, I knew it was a wrap. I knew it was right. I knew it was done.
You can see his face.
His face, he went, no mas. Bro, wonderful performance from Keyshawn. What can I say, man? What can I say?
Yeah, great performance. We've had him on our prospect list for time, known about him for a long time, and yeah, he's graduated with flying colours because this is super impressive. What, 14 fights, champion now?
So 13? I think that was his 13th.
Yeah, super impressive. And look, I always say this, one of my favourite fighters outside of the ring.
You're right. Sorry. Yeah.
One of my favourite fighters outside the ring to absorb the content, and he's gonna keep because he was killing me. Some nice jewelry you have, all. Grabbing Berinchy's belts and he's gonna take it.
Master, I don't need that. I need that.
You can keep the jewelry. But yeah, he done his thing, took his belt, and yeah, let's see what he does next. It's a stacked division there.
Yes.
It's even more stacked if he wants to move up.
Yes.
But yeah, look.
And he will move up because, like I said, he's got the size too. I see Keyshawn end up at welterweight, to be honest. He's going to end up at 147. He's big for the weight, the 135 division and 140, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, so he could definitely move up to 140. I think might be his next step. But
as in off the bat.
Well, maybe not off the bat, but as opposed to unifying.
Let's talk. Yeah, so first, let's talk about the division because it's hot. IBF champ is Lomachenko. Keyshawn's got the WBO now. WBC is owned by Shakur. Tank has got the WBA. These are all heavy hitters, bro. All heavy hitters. It's a mouth-watering division when you look at it on paper. But that's on paper, bro. Obviously, you said to me today, and I agreed with you, that all of these guys are probably not going to fight each other, which is a damn shame. Because if you look at the landscape, Keyshawn has already come out and said he's never going to fight Shakur Stevenson. That's his best friend. Cool. So that eliminates that prospect. Gervonta Davis is on the Gervonta Davis Island, as we know. So he's by himself on an island over there in PBC. They don't plan to fight anyone of note. Lomachenko, we know, is already ducked Shakur. And I probably think he'll probably duck Keyshawn as well. In fact, Lomachenko might be on his way out, to be honest, because he's had this title since last year. And the IBF, they might be close to stripping him, to be honest, because he hasn't defended. And it's been over a year now since he's had that. I think Lomachenko is looking for one big fat payday. Yeah. And that's not gonna come with Shakur, and it won't come with Keyshawn. The only person it's gonna come from is really Tank.
Yeah.
And as you said, Tank taking into effect that he's on the island, unfortunately. To be honest, Tank could fight Lomachenko because they know he's weak now. That he's not the same Lomachenko. So, but knowing Tank, maybe not. So yeah, I think he's called out for Tank, and he's openly called for a rematch with Devin Haney, which again is probably not going to happen either. So Lomachenko, to me, I see he's been on his way out. A damn shame. Lomachenko, legend of a sport, amazing fighter, but I just think it's new blood now, bro. New blood. These guys are bigger and stronger than him. He's older now. It's not the same Loma. It is what it is. But it's frustrating that, we've got 4 amazing champions in this weight class, and we're highly unlikely to see any of them unify. Now, I know that Keyshawn has called for the Tank fight to be made, but Tank is Tank. So I don't really know where we go from here. Maybe he does have to move up. Maybe. Yeah. But it's sad if that's the case, man. It really is sad. Yeah.
And him gaining this world title has almost pushed aside some of the fights we've wanted to see from him. He's kind of moved past that and Andy Cruz, Frank Martin. They're going to have to grab something to get Keyshawn Davis' attention now because if it's not Lomachenko or Tank, he might as well move up. But he should defend his belt. I think he should have a hometown defense.
Yes, I would like to. Yeah.
But if you can't get any unification after that hometown defense, look, I don't think he's going to give the opportunity to an Andy Cruz or a Frank Martin.
You don't think so?
I think he still wants to smoke, but they just don't bring anything to the table, really.
Yeah. Andy Cruz, I don't think is realistic, to be honest, at this point. Frank Martin, more realistic, I would say, but Frank, we see something from Frank. If you haven't seen him since he fought Tank, I don't think he's been quiet on that front. So I'm not too sure, where we potentially see that, to be honest. Yeah.
I think, is it WBO who automatically make you mandatory if you move up?
If you move up, yes.
Yeah. Or make you, not mandatory, they make you like first
First pick, yeah, basically.
Yeah. So you're in first position. And I think Teofimo has the WBO.
Yes.
So I think he'll be vying for Teofimo after his antics. And
there's needle. There's needle between both of them. Yeah. Yes, he's called him out before. Absolutely. Now that is a fight I like to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
there's no warm-ups needed. Look, Keyshawn's at the level now. He should, as we said in this pod. Our motto going forward this year on this pod is there's no stepping back.
Yeah.
Once you reach that level, you can't go back.
Nope.
So I'm happy to see a straight Teofimo Keyshawn straight into it. Absolutely. For sure. If he moves up. But I definitely would agree with you. I think a hometown defense. Look, we saw him fight in Norfolk against Lemos. He sold it out 10K. They all came to support him in his droves. So hometown-wise, he's going to sell out. He's that kind of fighter for his hometown. They'll probably put the three brothers on the card again. DB3. Shout out to DB3. Yeah, man. Look, super happy for Keyshawn. And he is definitely a vibrant, colourful character to have in the sport. Yeah, man. He's been through his own trials and tribulations, the mental health stuff. You know, he's been very open speaking about that. You can even tell, you know, his eyes sometimes. He's a bit, you can tell he's been through mental. Every time he talks, I'm saying you can tell he's a bit loopy. But that's why we like him. And, you know, he gives it, you know, he calls out as it is. He calls people out, doesn't duck, I don't think. So I'm happy that he had his moment because I think a lot of people were saying, obviously, the preamble, the build-up, the way he was talking to Berinchyk, they're saying, boy, he's going to lose this. Berinchyk is the real deal, this, that. But we know how it is with boxing fans. They don't like to see, let's be honest, let's call it how it is, bro. They don't like to see a confident black man talk his stuff. Let's be real. So, let's keep it a buck. But good thing is, unlike the surgeon, you know, Keyshawn backed it up. You know what I'm talking about? I think that's the surgeon. Keyshawn's backing it up. So yeah, shout to Keyshawn, man. Very, very happy and a wonderful, phenomenal performance. To be honest, man. He made Berinchyk look like an amateur, just crazy.
Made him look over the hill overnight. Bro. Made him look badly over the hill.
Now everyone's gonna say Berincyk's 36. He's old.
Yeah, and look, we weren't saying it beforehand, but now Look, I want Keyshawn Davis to go on his celebration lap. I want to see him do all the interviews with his belt, Breakfast Club, all of that. Get people really in tune with him now because they're gonna run to him, and if he keeps Tank's name in his mouth, keeps Teofimo's name in his mouth, they're gonna start pressing these guys to fight Keyshawn.
Exactly, and you know what, bro? Watching that fight. Do you know who I got shades of watching that fight in terms of performance, what he looked like? There was a bit of blood in there, you know?
Yeah.
There was a bit of... I'm watching him, that performance, and it was many things he was doing that I see Bud doing. And obviously, Bomac is his trainer, you know? So, but you can see that connection. Like, he was looking like Bud Light in there. I said to myself, boy, he's developing... Look, he's developing nicely.
He was talking to Bud in there as well.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He talked to Bud.
Look, he's developing nicely. I'm looking forward to seeing this next chapter in his career. Again, we know our stuff, man. We picked out these guys, prospects that we see, that we know are good and have potential to be great. And Keyshawn's shown us that, you know, once again, we've got it right again. We know our boxing, man. We definitely know our boxing. Pick up Keyshawn Davis. Let's head over to, and obviously there was wins for Xander Zayas on the card. I did see that. But yeah, that's stuff. Huh?
Dula was on the card, done his thing.
Yes. Oh yeah, Dula was on the. I missed Dula's fight, but I saw what I used to see. He did it in typical Dula fashion. Started the year off right.
Beautiful. Like, look, you guys might have been late to Keyshawn.
Don't be late to Dula.
Don't be late to Dula.
Look. He's the next. Look, he might fight for a title this year. Who knows? Because he's next one up. Yeah, and it's so funny because a lot of these people are saying Dula's name. A lot of people are saying Dula's name. Obviously, he's still seen as a young buck, but he's fast becoming a contender. Very fast. And very soon, he's going to be in conversations with the likes of someone like a Keyshawn or a Tank. And I'd be interested to see what they say about him then. Like, Shakur's been quick to say, yeah, that's my little bro, blah, blah. Look out for it. quick to do that. Very quick to say, that's my young guy, man. My bro. Yeah, big up Dula, man. Usual stuff. Saturday, bro. One division up, 140-pound division. Massive fight. Like I said, that was going to have major repercussions for the 140-pound division. Jack Catterall versus Arnold Barboza. a final eliminator for the I can't remember which belt it is. Is it the WBO, WBC? One of the belts.
Yeah, I think was it.
Okay,
I think so.
one of the belts. Anyways, look, man, I said it on the pod last week. Yes, I picked Catterall to win, but I said from the jump, this is a tricky fight for him. But I said the term potential banana skin based on the fact that I've watched Arnold Barboza Jr. before. I saw him against Ramirez. I think that's the first or second time I've seen him in action. But the Ramirez fight, I was impressed with what I saw. I saw a guy that could box, that was very good fundamentals, not afraid to let his hands go, great footwork, and also defensively very sound. So I expected this to be a chess match, a affair between two very good boxers. And I said it's going to be tough for Cat because Barboza is no slouch. He's really good. Also undefeated, very confident. Boy, he has to be on his A game. And unfortunately, and it hurts me to say this because, like I said, I think we've both been very, very pro Catterall in this pod. And because of the fact of, he has been given probably one of the most unfair shakes in boxing that we've seen, right? As we said, this is a man that should be world champion or should have at least been world champion, right? So, to see him try and climb back and claw his way back into that sort of contention, and in my opinion, he's been jumping through the most unnecessary, unfair hoops. It's peak. And boxing is deep, man. Boxing is a very deep sport because you can do all that good work and fail at the final hurdle, and you're back to square one. And unfortunately, this is what's happened with Jack Catterall because it was a tricky fight, a fight that I don't think was necessary really, but it was for one of the governing bodies. It was a final eliminator, so he's going to take that. And obviously, he backs himself because he rates himself as one of the best in the 140-pound division. And on this day, in my opinion, he is one of the best. But you've got to, unfortunately, keep winning. And a loss sets you back bare. And unfortunately, Arnold Barboza came and upset the apple cart for many people. Barboza was phenomenal. Well, I don't say phenomenal, but it was a brilliant performance from him. A brilliant away day performance. He stepped to Catterall, outworked him, showed that, yes, he can, he didn't let Catterall have his way with the exchanges. Every time Catterall would land something significant, Barboza would look to answer immediately. And he won all those exchanges because he was not letting himself get outworked. Catterall will land a couple good shots, Barboza will reply with 4 or 5 to finish the argument every single time. And he was catching Catterall. Catterall, we praise for his really good defense, right? He employs a shoulder roll, great footwork, tricky to hit, great reflexes. I think it's probably the most I've seen Catterall get caught in a fight before, to be honest, bro. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And purely because Barboza was throwing hands intelligently as well, not just swinging for swinging's sake.
Yeah.
Setting up his work behind the jab, jab into the body when need to. Like, he was doing some really good stuff in there. So I think for a lot of people who maybe were not as privy to Arnold Barboza beforehand, they definitely are now. But this guy is good. Also undefeated, like I said. And he's had needle with a couple of our guys that we've mentioned, Tiafimo specifically. Him and him have had a big back and forth and whatnot. But yeah, Arnold Barboza showed what he's about and why he potentially should be the one that they should be talking about as a next up for a world title or whatnot, potentially. And it's just, unfortunately, after such a good run that Catterall's had, it's just a very unfortunate time to have a flat performance. And to me, Catterall did some good things in there, bro. But he definitely was a lot flatter than what we've seen from him recently. And I don't know if that's wear and tear, jadedness, or if the fact that Barboza was a lot better than they expected. And I think I'm leaning towards the latter a bit, bro. I think Barboza was a lot better than they expected, especially with his hand speed and just his overall ring generalship. But yeah, man, very unfortunate for Catterall to lose that, man. I was gutted for him.
Yeah, I was gutted. Look, I'm not mad at the scorecards. I know I saw murmurs of robbery, but I think the decision was most people were. It was a close fight. I think final scores were split decision: 115, 113, 2 in favor of Barboza, 1 for Catterall, which is impressive away from home.
Yep.
But look, Barboza's volume and his tempo impressed me. Like you say, he wasn't just throwing for throwing's sake. He was throwing with Catterall when Catterall threw, and getting the better of those exchanges, like you said. And he was applying the pressure and pushing back Catterall effectively. There's a few times Catterall's head was bobbing back or buckling on the ropes, and Catterall caught Barboza in certain situations, but Barboza always responded, always out through and outgunned Catterall in that sense. Catterall just seemed, like you say, flat or lazy in his defense and his focus. Really, he was getting caught way too often. Now, look, while it was a close fight, I wouldn't have been mad if Catterall won. With those scorecards, especially, I wouldn't have been mad. But at the same time, Barboza impressed me. And what tends to happen is when I'm watching these fights, if the commentary start to move the way they were moving and not giving the other fighter enough credit, I start to slightly start rooting for that fighter.
Exactly. Look, let's call it how it is, man. They were blatantly ignoring Barboza's working portions. It was bad. It was bad. It got worse and worse as the fight went on as well.
Especially the three guest judges they had ringside.
Man,
they gave Barboza one round.
They were taking the piss.
I was like, you're lying now. You're lying because I can see with my own eyes, Catterall was getting caught flush. Not great, getting caught flush, getting not wobbled, but buckled and whatnot. And Barboza's landing frequently, having good rounds, having good success. After 4 rounds, it was 2-2. And they were giving it Catterall every round.
Crazy.
So
I don't know what they were seeing, but
and we're both huge Catterall fans, but we call a spade a spade. If you're having a bad performance, you're having a bad performance. But yeah, good fight. Barboza impressed me. Catterall could have done better, I think, on another day. If they both performed to their highest, I still fancy Catterall. I think it was a flat performance, but yeah, Barboza super impressive. It's hard to say deserved, but I think he done his thing. So I'm not mad at him winning at all.
So where's Catterall go from here now, bro? It's big. It's big. It's deep, man. Bro, he's fought so hard to get back into contention, and he's genuinely failed at the last hurdle, really and truly, before a title shot. He still has not held a title. It's mad. It's mad. I mean, we know he's got mental fortitude because to bounce back from that that first Josh Taylor fight, I know a lot of men that would have quit or given up. You know what I mean? So to bounce back from that and to be able to rematch it a couple of years later after several postponements and then perform the way he did and go on this little run the way he's been doing to get back into contention shows strong mental fortitude. He's low-key got to do it again almost.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, he's low-key got to do it again. And it's, okay, obviously, he might not have to do as much. Maybe he could be 1 fight away, 2 fights away. But, boy, it's tough, man. It can't be easy. It can't be easy, man.
Yeah. What's crazy is now I'm seeing people talking about he should fight Dalton Smith. They're relegating him to that now.
Okay.
Look, Dalton Smith is vying for position as well.
Yes, he is.
But Jack Catterall is a head. It should be a head. He should have touched the title. He should be looking upwards, not sideways or downwards. So I think he needs to try and get in position for another belt. There's still people he should be looking at, and maybe take a gamble and try get another. I don't know. Try patting another title somehow. We've seen it done before, but maybe he can win against a Sandor Martin or someone, and then be back in position. But who knows? He needs to get there quickly. And yeah, he's taking gambles. Yeah, he's taking gambles. What, Linares, Taylor, Prograis in a row.
Barboza. Look, bro, I said that this is an amazing run. Yeah. But this was the one I said to this is the one that gave me alarm bells. Like Regis, I said to myself, we've seen Regis get pieced out by boxer before, so cool, we can do that. Taylor, we knew he had the beating of. Linares, we know it's an over the hill of Linares. Yeah. But Barboza's young and not young, but you know what I mean, still fresh and live, and also very confident coming off a good win against a former champion in JCR, right? So, and he schooled JCR, to be honest. So I said to myself, he's a good boxer. From what I can see, this will be tricky. And it proved to be tricky, to be honest. I think Catterall also struggled just with the, he's small at 140 pounds, to be honest, Catterall. He's on the smaller end, right? And he's always been able to negate that with the fact that he's a very, very good boxer. So he can negate his lack of size. But against someone that was bigger than him, but could also box well in Barboza, he struggled to overcome that, I feel like. And that's why Barboza was able to run him walking down, win the battle of the jabs, and win those arguments in there. So, I think that also went against him, just his lack of size. So, boy, it definitely was a close fight. And again, I agree with you. I can, if he went to Catterall, I can't argue either. But yeah, man, credit to Barboza, big credit. And I really hope Catterall is able to dig deep and find that mental strength again to come back, because he's going to need it. Because I don't think he should move up. I still think he should carry on campaigning at 140. It's just tough. It's tough, man. It's sad. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm looking at the other champions now. And the thing is, I think the other champions, he can beat some of these guys, man. It's peak.
Yep.
It's peak. But now Barboza's position against Teofimo, obviously, like I said, him and Teofimo have had needle before. I know he challenged Teofimo a long time ago, and Teofimo was like, "You're nobody." So now he's worked his way into position. So let's see if that comes into fruition now, if he gets to that Teofimo shot that he's been craving or not. But yeah, Catterall, try and come again, buddy. Don't give up. Don't give up. You do have what it takes to be champion, I think, in this division. You just got to keep winning. It's harsh, man. It's harsh. Undid all that good work. Undid all that good work. It's deep. But cool. Flowz, I think we can, head into what the listeners really want to hear this week, the meat and bones of this episode. Let's head over to next week, because we have quite possibly the best boxing card in history to preview right now. It is the rematch next week of Beterbiev versus Bivol. What's it been billed as again? I swear it's got a nice name that's been billed as. Can't remember. Let me check. The Last Crescendo. That's what it's been billed as. The Last Crescendo. As always, bro. I mean, look, like I said, I'm looking at this, like the flyer, even as it is, Flowz. Look at the names attached to it, man. I'm seeing Boxer. I'm seeing Top Rank. I'm seeing Golden Boy. I'm seeing Queensbury. I'm seeing PBC. I'm seeing Matchroom. Like, what? What? Nah, Turkey's crazy. Turkey's a madman. Turkey's a madman still. But yeah, this card is ridiculous. Before we dive into the review, let's just remind the listeners of what it is that we're seeing on this card. We're seeing Joshua Buatsi versus Callum Smith. We're seeing Zile Zhang versus Agit Caballel. We're seeing Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov. We're seeing Carlos Adames versus Hamza Shiraz. We're seeing Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield. We're seeing Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. And then we're getting the rematch of Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. This is the stuff of dreams, mate. This is the stuff of dreams. And we've got to go for every single thing. So let's start from the bottom, bro, and work our way to the top. By the way, lots of these fights, I ain't got Scooby, by the way. Lots of these fights, I'm still on the fence. I'll be so rude. All right, cool. Joshua Buatsi, Callum Smith. It's for the WO World Interim Light Heavyweight title. All British affair between two great British light heavyweights. Yeah, man. A fight that surprised me, to be honest. I didn't see this one coming. Because obviously all the talk has been, Yard, Buatsi. Obviously Yard had that situation with his his contract with Queensbury, etc. And that put a spanner in the works. But I didn't think that, like I said, I was under the impression for time that Callum Smith retired.
Yeah. But
he hadn't retired. He actually fought. He beat one guy up. But yeah, I did not expect to see Callum Smith versus Buatsi happening. And it's here. Is this the step up that Buatsi needs, bro? For you to then maybe potentially say, okay, cool, he fights this fight, he can now go on and challenge potentially for a world title, even though he's going to lose regardless. But does this put him in the frame where it's like, cool, world level next?
No.
No. Okay.
I say that because you've got to clear out the British scene.
Still.
Uh,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
still, if you beat Callum Smith,
It's taking long though. It's taking a
yeah,
long time.
it's fine. It can take as long as it needs because he's not. I don't
He's
think
not there
beating Callum
yet.
Smith makes him ready for Beterbiev
Okay.
or Bivol.
Just to add to listeners' context,
Yeah,
Kai Smith, ex-champion
yeah,
at
ex-champion.
168. Very good champion as well at that. So
Mhm.
he's got
But
pedigree.
went outside. Went out real sad, and he stopped dropped after that loss to Canelo.
I'm screaming.
He did like the consensus was that
Yeah.
he was looking to survive. He was looking up at the clock. He was um
He lost all his power.
yeah, damn near lost every round. Couldn't hurt. But anyway, he's still a good fighter. Like regardless, a lot of people discredit that run by Canelo to unify that division. But Callum Smith's a good fighter, experienced. And if Joshua Buatsi does beat him, he's gained a bit more experience in that sense. He's upped his level. But I still think he needs to see yards before he thinks about seeing
I would love
Bivol
that
and
personally.
Beterbiev.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if he can beat a Callum Smith, then face an Anthony Yards, then because Anthony Yards experienced at a high level. He's fought at a high level than
twice.
So
Yeah.
you'd argue that the experience is in favor of Yards. So Buatsi needs these kind of fights to prepare him for Yard almost in that sense. So yeah, it's a good fight. But if he wins, is he ready for Bivol Beterbiev? I'd say no. He's got to see Yards before he thinks about any of that stuff.
I do like Buatsi's recent run.
Mm-hmm.
He's finally been stepped up.
Yeah.
Dan Aziz to Willie Hutchinson to Cam Smith. That is a great domestic run. Yeah. So yes, it does make sense to cap that off with Anthony Yard, which is obviously the one that we've all wanted for a long time, but also someone that has experience at a high level as well. Cool. Fair enough. I think that's sound logic, bro, and I agree with you there. Yeah. But as you said, there's no step backs, and I'm glad that they've kept that sort of style of opponent for him. And this should be his hardest fight today, for sure. I don't know how much Callum Smith has got left in the tank. Like I said, he fought last year against a guy called Gavlan or whatever. He got him out there in 5 rounds. As expected, the guy was just a quick comeback opponent. Because obviously before that, he fought Beterbiev and got stopped in 7, as we know. So, yeah. I don't think Callum Smith has that much left in the tank. I don't think he's finished by any means, but it's not the same Callum Smith as we know from back in the day, right? So, 34 now. And he's been around for a while, to be honest. So yeah, I do expect Buatsi to come through this, but he should be tested, and it's a big step up for him for sure. And if he comes through this impressively, it puts Buatsi in great stead, in brilliant stead. But yeah, what about you? Are you pulling for you expecting Buatsi to come through Callum Smith?
Yeah, I'm sided with Buatsi. I think he should look to do it in impressive fashion.
Yeah.
To show he's ready. We saw what Beterbiev have done. We've seen what Canelo does. If he does it in impressive fashion, then he can start to say, "Look, I'm ready." But I think similar to you, he'll have to face the test in there.
Yes,
so it's unlikely to be a walk in the park. Even like in hindsight, even looking at Callum Smith versus Canelo and versus Beterbiev, he gave them a fight. He just wasn't having the effect he wanted to. Is the truth. So yeah, let's see.
Okay, yeah, cool. Agreement there. Zhilei Zhang, Ajit Kabayel, bro, for the vacant WBC interim heavyweight title. Now, Kabayel, bro, has been on a run. On a run. And I've heard grumblings before in the past of Kabayel. We know him very well. Not very well, but he's been a sparring partner for a lot of heavyweights and given great sparring work. That's how I first heard about Kabayel. And, we're watching him come through these guys. The last 2 fights, I'm pretty sure Kabayel has been an underdog, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Makhmudov, who was a scary Russian guy that was knocking everyone out. And Frank Sanchez, who on this pod we rated highly. And we've seen Kabayel come through both of those guys and stop them. Both in very impressive fashion. Both times where he's underdog. Now he's against Big Bang Zhang, who we know very well. We spoke about Zhang many times. One of the most dangerous 4-round fighters in the world. Because he will give you those 4 rounds where he looks a problem. But if he comes through that, if after that, boy, he hasn't got much left. Have you checked odds for this, by the way? Do you know who's favorite?
No, I don't.
I haven't either.
That'll be interesting.
I'll tell you from the front though. I think Caball's going to beat him. You as well?
Yeah, I thought we might disagree on that, but yeah.
No, I'm pulling for Caballero on this one because Caballero has shown me something, right? That he can go through fire and go through the fire, go face adversity and tough it out. Because against Makhmudov, if you remember that fight was a slugfest. That fight was crazy, right? Makhmudov was throwing those hands. They're both beating each other up. And there were times in that fight where Caballero looked like he was hurt, looked like he could be on the ropes. He came through it and got stronger as the fight went on and was able to stop that guy. Against Sanchez as well, he got stronger and stronger as the rounds went on. So, to me, Caballero is someone that can go through that adversity and tough it out and then dish out his own punishment in return when his opponent has kind of run out of gas. And that is essentially what Zhilei Zhang is. Zhang is someone that, for the first couple of rounds, is extremely dangerous. Very heavy-handed, good fighter, good amateur background, massive, throws those big shots, those big hooks and whatnot. Very, very dangerous. Could knock anyone out on his day. But after those first 4 rounds, the way that the tank empties, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, the Joe Joyce fight, I'll never forget it, bro. Because there was a point when he was barely throwing. He was throwing like a couple times, and that was it. And because Joyce is crap, he could afford to do that. But he had no edge. He had nothing left. Yeah. It was so funny. So, and the way Parker was able to navigate that pressure early and then turn the tides on him, we saw it. And so, the fact that Caballero is showing me that he can stick it out and then get stronger and have a second wind and dish out his own punishment is why I feel like he can outlast Zhang in this fight. And he might stop him, to be honest. He's shown that he can stop guy. He's shown he's got killer instinct. Yeah, man. Caballero is underrated. He's good, man. He's good.
Yeah, he is good. And look, the opposite's true as well. Zhang he's deceptively quick in there.
Quick, yeah.
Deceptively quick with
laser with the punch. Very accurate as well.
Yeah. So he could get to Caballero. Caballero's been able to outswing Madrimov, who was a bit slower in his hand speed. Frank Sanchez seemed to be injured or carrying an injury in that fight.
He seemed off. He did seem off, yeah.
He seemed a bit off. If Zhang's hungry and his usual self in those early rounds, it could be a real firefight. It could be a cracker early on, and he could get Caballero out of there. But I fancy Caballero. He seems the fitter. I guess he must be younger than Zhang. He must be.
Yeah. But Zhang's 41, bro.
He showed, like you said, he showed us something in the last few fights that he can upset the apple cart. I'll just check
full of confidence as well. Who's favorite?
Yeah, he's favorite. He's undefeated. Caballero. Yeah, he's undefeated still. So look, it's close, but I expect Caballero to take it.
Interesting. Okay, cool. We're in agreement so far. All right, let's do it then. So this one's tough for me, to be honest, bro. Madrimov versus Ortiz Jr. This is for the interim Super Welterweight Championship, WBC. Once again, bro, another cracking flipping fight, man. Cracking fight. We last saw Virgil Ortiz, obviously, highly rated American prospect. Is on our prospect list, has been from day one. I think the first day we made that list, we threw him on there straight off the boots.
Yep.
Ortiz Jr., we know, is a problem. Big problem. He stopped all but one of his opponents. Seems comfortable at 154 now. That one opponent he didn't stop was Bohachuk, who obviously we saw, very impressive guy, who, that was a majority decision win. That was a potential fight of the year candidate, as we mentioned last year, right? That fight was crazy. We last saw Madrimov against Terence Crawford. Bud got the win, took his title from him. But Madrimov, it wasn't a easy win for Bud in that sense. Madrimov was competitive, but Bud deservedly got the W. But we know Madrimov is also very, very good. This is a cracking fight, man. Cracking fight. And you know what, Ortiz? Fair play. You're taking big step ups. Clearly, there's an aim to sort of fight for a title for you in this division this year. And Madrimov presents a huge risk, to be honest. Former champion, no slouch, high amateur background as well. Very good fighter. But I'm going to side with the youth on this one, bro. I'm going with the youth. I'm going with the youth of Virgil Ortiz. I think there'll be moments where it's going to look very hairy for him in this fight, bro. But we've seen with Ortiz fights, he's looked hairy in a few fights, but he always learns and somehow comes back. And obviously, he's got crazy power. He's able to turn the tide of the battle in his favor. And I feel like this could happen in this fight again. You know, he might get cracked a few times or be times when you're under pressure, and he will work his way through it and show us, you know, like I said, what we believe in him in terms of, you know, him being the next big thing or potential big thing at 154, whatever division he's in. Very talented kid, Virgil Ortiz. I'm happy he's taking this fight. And again, once you're at that level, bro, there's no step backs. And he's here. What are your thoughts on this fight? It is potential blind skin for sure, but
it's a 50-50 really.
Yeah.
I think we saw hairy moments for Virgil against Berinchyk. He got dropped, didn't he? He got dropped.
He might have, yeah. I think he might have, yeah.
I think I seem to remember him getting dropped. And Madrimov can certainly
twice. Yes, twice. I remember he got twice. You're right.
Yeah, Madrimov has the ability to drop him, hurt him.
Yeah.
Look, I think Madrimov was meant to fight Berinchyk, but pulled out because of injury, or illness. So we need to see if they're both fully fit. We've had our concerns with Virgil Ortiz's health. Hopefully they're both fully fit. I want to side with Virgil Ortiz. This is on our prospect list. But Madrimov is a super
tough,
super well-rounded fighter. Tough.
Yeah.
Gave Crawford trouble.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a close fight. Is how I see it. I can't imagine. I don't expect anyone to get washed. I think it's going to be a close decision. Maybe split, maybe majority.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, I'm pulling for Virgil Ortiz to impress and get the nod.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, we have our first title fight of the evening in Carlos Adames versus Hamza Shiraz. This is the WBC middleweight title. Now, this is a brilliant fight, by the way, and on paper, a close fight, to be honest. But this is a fight where, okay, there's two fights in the card where I'm very confident of the winner, right? And this is one of them, right? And Hamza Shiraz, look, bro, what more can we say? The run he's on is ridiculous. He's washing everyone, to be honest. Looking good doing it, not stopping guys, however you want to call it, outboxing guys, stopping them. I think a lot of the eyes are on him now as well, not just from the UK, but Americans now know about him too because of the way he did Amma Williams. Look, man, I think it's Hamza Shiraz's time. I think this is where he wins his first title at middleweight. And we know he's a bit of an anomaly in that weight class in terms of his size anyways and his reach. Yeah. But I think this is him. This could be one of his crowning moments, bro. I really think Hamza Shiraz is going to walk away with his arms raised. If he might even stop Adames, to be honest. He's on a mean streak right now. Yeah, but I'm not going to go as far as to say he stops him, but I think Hamza Shiraz wins. Adames is really good, though. I just want to stress that to listeners. Adames is good. Definitely one of who are the other middleweight champions? Oh, it's him and Janibek and Lara. Janibek's probably the best. And then obviously Adames is second best. Yeah. Lara is 40, so... You know, it's old Lara. But yeah. Janibek obviously was calling for this fight between him and I think obviously Hamza was in position to fight Janibek. They ordered that fight. But out of nowhere, the Adames thing happened. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'll take that as well. So I think we might see something along the lines of, let's say Hamza wins. We might go and see him unify with Janibek. That would be great. But this isn't an easy touch by any means, and you can't look past Adames, who has one loss in his record. That was against Teixeira back in 2019. But since then, he's been pretty untouchable, to be honest, bro. He's run through the likes of Derevchenko, J-Rock Williams.
J-Rock, yeah.
Terrell Gaucher, those PBC, a lot of the PBC guys that we're used to seeing at middleweight. So he's run through, he's beat those guys, he stopped those guys. So yeah, man, it's a good fight, but I expect Hamza to come through this, and yeah, take what's his. Take what's his.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this one, bro?
So I think the only thing that you could point to against Hamza is the level of opposition. Adamez has fought better opposition, fought at a higher level. Obviously, he's holding the title. Hamza's best win is what, against Ammo Williams, or Tyler Denny. They're not.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
yeah,
saying that, it's clear to see his ability. Hamza Shiraz's ability. It's clear to see he's cold, and with that, he's a weight bully. 6'3". 6'3".
6'3".
Towers over these men. He's got power.
Yeah,
got skill. I don't think he'll be a walk in the park like a Tyler Denny was. Like he had some hairy,
or Leon Williams.
yeah, Williams. He had some hairy moments against Ammo, but Ammo's skilled. But he won that convincingly. I think Ammo gave him problems in a few rounds where he caught life. But then he controlled that fight.
For the middle rounds, it was Hamza just getting stronger and better. So yeah.
Hamza controlled that fight, and look, I expect him to win this one, but it could be an impressive fashion. It could be a hard-fought win, but the talent's there, the ability's there for me. But yeah, this is we said he's ready, and I think
we did.
It's his time now. So go out there and show it.
Cool. All right, we're on full agreement so far on this card, which maybe I thought even though some of these are tough fights, this next one we're going to be in full agreement too, because it's the other fight which I know I'm 100% guaranteed who I think is going to win. But I'm very looking forward to this fight because of just the build-up. The two characters involved. We've got Floyd Schofield versus Shakur Stevenson for Shakur's WBC title at 135 pounds. Look, man, Schofield shouldn't be in this position, but I'm happy he's here. You know what I mean? I'm happy Schofield Sr. is also here too. Look, this should be a simple. I don't want to say walk in the park, but it probably might be a walk in the park with Shakur. Look, Schofield is a young prospect. He's a young, talented prospect, but he hasn't fought anyone or done anything yet in the game to warrant a shot against Shakur. He's essentially talked himself into this opportunity, him and his dad. And fair play for them to taking it and backing themselves. And, he's going to try and make a name for himself. And he is good. Like I said, he's a prospect. He's good. He's got some good things that he's good at. But it's just the levels that he's nowhere near this level. So really, really and truly, Shakur should embarrass him. And I think given the needle between the two camps, I think Shakur might look to embarrass him, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, this fight can go whichever way Shakur wants, right, bro? But I fully expect Shakur win. Do you give Floyd Kid any chance whatsoever? He's got power. He's got speed.
Oh, so we can say that, look, it's boxing. Everyone has a chance. Everyone has a shot. I think his best bet is to catch Shakur with a shot that Shakur doesn't recover from.
Yes.
If he catches him with a one shot that rocks and wobbles Shakur and pounces, and that's his best bet. A shot from the gods, picking him with a great shot that hurts him and Shakur can't recover.
Yeah.
Because he's not outboxing Shakur. He's simply not. He's not gonna pressure him into. He's not going to apply pressure that he takes the fight by outworking Shakur. He's just going to get countered constantly. I think his best bet is to shot from the gods that hurts Shakur, either knocks him out or he can't recover from, and pounces on him. But like you say, Shakur's either going to 12-0 whitewash him, or sweep him completely, or stop him late, or break him down completely. That's what I expect. I expect one of those most likely. I expect a washing.
This should be a bro. It's a mismatch. I'll be so real. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat anymore. This is a flipping mismatch, bro. Look like Giron, Serrero, Lopez Torres, Haskell Rhodes. Like these guys haven't even got Wikipedia page. Like his opponents, bro. To go from that to this, and Giron gave him hell.
Yeah.
We don't know who Giron is. But Jerron had him look. He had a few hairy moments against Jerron. So to go from that to this is one of the biggest jumps I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Fair play. Like I said, there's neither between the two camps. Cool. But it's mad. This is actually a crazy fight thinking about it. But it is what it is. Look, Shakur's had trouble finding opponents, to be honest. A lot of people have been ducking him. We know why. So, yeah, if this is the best they could do, it's the best they could do. And, of course, who am I going to tell a young cat and his dad to not believe in themselves? They obviously believe in something. So, fair play to them. But if Shakur loses this fight, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. He should retire. There's no way he should be losing to a Floyd Schofield. I'm sorry, at this stage of his career. No way.
Look, the only way, like I said, is if he gets caught with a shot. Then they run it back. Then they have to run it. He has to run it back. But look, Floyd Schofield we were pitting him against the Keyshawn Davis, who's just got to where he is. So, and Shakur's way ahead of Keyshawn Davis in terms of
development and stuff.
Yeah, development and where they're at. So, fair play, Floyd. You can bounce back from the loss, is all I'll say. You can definitely bounce back from this.
So you can bounce back from the loss. So looking like you're bounce back opponent now. Cool. All right, final two fights, bro. And these two fights, man, are so hard to call for me, man. So hard to call. We'll start with the co-main event, the chief support. Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker for Dubois' IBF World Heavyweight title.
Ooh.
Now, these two fights, you might diverge, finally. Bro, this Dubois-Parker fight, I've been on the fence for the longest. And look, Parker's on a great run of form, as we know. Great boxer. Second, Indian summer in his career, and has looked great. With great wins over, Wilder, Zhilei Zhang. Parker's on form. He looks great. Almost like a new version of himself, right? And you've got Dubois, who's also in form, full of confidence. Underdog in 3 fights in the spin, and stopped all his opponents. I don't think he was underdog against Miller, but that was seen as potentially tricky.
Yeah.
Not Miller. Hergovich was definitely underdog in boxing circles anyways. Got Hergovich out there. AJ, we said there's no way. We said good run, but it's tight. It's over now. Got AJ out of here. Ran him out of here. He's still looking for AJ, like he said. He doesn't know where he's at. So now we have Joseph Parker. And I haven't checked the odds, bro. You might have. I'm assuming Dubois' favorite.
Yeah, I think so.
This is the first time we're Dubois' favorite, right? In a while.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have any effect on Dubois and who he is. He's going to fight the same way. This new version of Dubois is going to fight one way. Come forward and throw those big-ass hands. And that's how he gets you out of there. That's how he catches you. So it's hard. I can see a Dubois stoppage. But I can also see Joseph Parker, who is a much better boxer than Dubois, in my opinion, and has faced guys that hit hard and come forward a lot, and he's been able to navigate that to get a decision victory. I can also see Parker outboxing him in a lot of portions and taking rounds off him and surviving. So I don't think Parker can stop Dubois, personally, but it's heavyweight, you never know, but I don't think he can. Dubois is showing that he's got a crazy chin. But I can't shake a feeling, bro. I think Parker can beat him, I think Parker can do it. And it's mad, but I need to stop rooting against that. I'm not rooting against... I need to stop rooting against Daniel Dubois because he keeps biting me in the ass, but I can't shake a feeling that I think Parker's going to beat him, I can't. There's something about it. I can't shake it. I really can't.
Yeah. Yeah, when this fight got announced, I thought, look, Parker's going to upset him. This was my first thought. But
I think we can see an upset. Yeah. Go on.
But we still have questions. Look, we still have question marks about Parker being a killer and being soft. I think that's still very much present with him. Now, he was on a good run where he was super active. Then got in there with Wilder. I backed him. He beat Wilder. Got in there with Zhilei Zhang. Backed him. He beat Zhang. But those two guys are a very different build and makeup to Daniel Dubois. Yeah. Daniel Dubois is active. He's going to pressure you. He's not going to fade. He's not going to get tired. We've seen him catch second wins.
Yeah.
We've seen him throw hands. He He's not shy about throwing his hands. Zhilei Zhang fades. Wilder's rubbish.
Wilder's not throw his hands. Yeah.
Wilder's rubbish. And he hasn't fought since he beat Zhang last year. I don't think Parker.
No.
So that activity is kind of completely dropped. Whereas Dubois has had activity against very high level opposition, stopping them. Yeah, better opposition than who Parker beat is better opposition. So for me on paper, it's Dubois because Dubois
I hear it.
Go to him, press him, not back down. And we saw what happened against Parker versus Joyce, where he's the one who faded from the pressure. But at the same time, similar to you, we've seen Dubois touch canvas a number of times. We've seen him get outboxed by Usyk. So I'm on the fence as well.
It's tough, man.
I'm like if I was to bet money, I've just checked. It'll be Parker as the underdog that I'll put money on because I think there's value in that. But Dubois has every right to be favorite, man. He has every right to be favorite.
Absolutely, bro. The front and form. Look, we gave him those awards last year for a reason, bro. He's been superb, and against what we thought he could be, he's exceeded those expectations that we actually set for him. So, yeah, man, he rightfully should be the favorite in this fight. There's just something I can't shake about just the boxing ability. Yeah. And I know what we're going to see from Dubois. It's not going to change. He's a machine. Come forward, throw hands. That's it. That's his only setting in the ring.
No thinking, no thinking about it.
Bro, clearly he's a devastating puncher, man. Devastating. Yeah. Parker, we know is tough. Hard to knock out. I think he's always been what he's only person stopped him was Joyce, right?
Yeah.
But really and truly, Parker can take a punch. He's strong in there. He's just the activity I don't like because yes, he was on a great run of being active, and we haven't seen him since last year, so it's a bit ish. But I can imagine he keeps himself in shape and he keeps himself sharp and whatnot. This fight to me, the second half of it is going to be super interesting to me. If Parker makes it the second half, it'd be very interesting because that Dubois pressure, as we said before, he gets stronger and stronger as the fight goes on. So I want to see how Parker navigates that. But Parker's got the experience and I think the know-how to sort of navigate that sort of pressure and be able to catch Dubois as he comes in and try and outbox him for the duration of the fight. So yeah, man, it looks tough. There's a feeling I can't shake about Parker upsetting the apple cart, but every time I've bet against Dubois, I've lost. So I probably shouldn't go against him again. But this honestly is very hard for me to call, man. Very hard for me to call. I just don't think that as people are saying, no, yeah, Dubois, he beat AJ, so he should comfortably be able to dispatch Parker. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that, man. It's not like that. Different fighters. I said from when this fight was made, I don't think I'm going to see Parker make that same mistake AJ did of have his hands down and be leaning back. I don't think Parker's going to do that personally. So it's giving me a different prospect for Dubois. This is the guy that can move. And we saw Usyk. Usyk out box rings around Dubois. Box rings around him. Parker has great footwork and good boxing ability to maybe not box rings like Usyk did, but box him. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know, man. I can't shake the Parker feeling, but it's tough.
I hear you, and I agree with you. I feel like the Dubois train is gonna come to a screeching halt when this fight got announced. I just feel like that's it. It's a wrap now. But
it's a wrap now.
You know what? For the sake of us continually agreeing, I'm gonna go ahead and say Dubois, just because I can see that outcome as well. I can see both outcomes, but let's go with Dubois.
All right. No, you don't. Yeah, because we have to. Yeah, I'll go Parker because we got. Yeah, cool. I don't mind if I lose. It doesn't matter. This one's tough. I don't give a damn. This next one's even harder, man. Flipping out.
Right, disagree again here.
Oh man, Beterbiev Bivol, bro. The first fight was a classic. One of the best fights I've seen. We waxed lyrical about it when the fight was made, after it was made, even in the end of the year roundup, we picked up how big it was. Did it win? Did it win that fight of the year? Or did we give it to... Who did we give it to again? Did we give it to that? Or it was that or one... There was one other one that we said was also unreal. I can't remember who we gave it to be honest, but...
Yeah, it might be this one.
Look, man. Classic. I actually need to try and rewatch it again before the second one. But we weren't happy with the result. I think... Not like desperately unhappy, but we obviously both clearly strongly thought that Bivol did enough to win. But it was a close fight. So we can't say robbery, we can't say this. They gave it to Beterbiev, and I understood why they gave it to Beterbiev. I can see why. I can see based on the fact that depending on how you score fights, but the Beterbiev had Bivol hurt more? Yes. Was he the one that towards the end of the fight was pushing it and walking Bivol down and catching it? Yes. But overall, like I said, the way we score it, effective offense, we said Bivol did enough to take that W. The questions I have for this, bro, is does Dimitri Bivol change his tactics or not? Because he fought a certain way, which is the usual way Bivol fights, by the way, against Beterbiev in that first fight, and it wasn't enough to sway the judges. So what needs to change? Does he need to change anything? Or do you think he fights the same way and hopes that, these judges are more receptive to this style as opposed to the previous judges? Because the change has to come from him, no? He lost, officially.
Yeah, that's your well, we say the change has to come from him, but Beterbiev's camp thought they lost, is the truth. They can say what they want. They thought they lost. So they caught life in the sense that most of the boxing world thought he lost, Beterbiev, and Beterbiev's own camp thought they lost. So he also needs to make changes because he can't be sure that he'll get... Because you could run that fight in front of different judges and they might say Bivol could have won. So we can say this rematch is very much down to the judges if they fought the same fight, which they might do. I think they'll both try and make changes. I think Bivol's change that he needs to make is he got a bit too greedy in portions and didn't tie up. He was too busy doing mano rather than pride. Ego and pride. I'm gonna wrap you up here and not let you get your work off. But even when he's hurt, he's trying to move and survive and now he's getting caught with punches and it's looking optically peak when he could have just tied up and clinched and caught his breath again and then reset rather than surviving. So if he adds a little bit more of that, a few more body shots, because neither of them really went to the body, I think Beterbiev, the body shots should pay off more. I think that's his change. I think Bivol's change is distance control and not letting Beterbiev work him and trying to survive and move in those situations. But
I don't know if Bivol's capability of doing it, bro. In terms of the holding, I just think
it's not his mind. It's not his mindset.
Exactly. You know, when certain people are married to a certain style, it's plan A or nothing. I think Bivol's like that. So the whole clinching and all that kind of stuff, it's just that's something they've even tried to do that ever in sparring. Like that's not how the game is played for them. So I get it. I think that is the right adjustment to make.
Yeah,
I just don't think we'll see that because ego, pride, and this is my style. Really and truly, the adjustment he needed to make isn't even an adjustment. It's something he had to be blessed with, and that's if you can actually flip and bang. And unfortunately, he can't. But that's really all Bivol needs. I'll be so real.
But
he needs a bazooka.
It's because he was trying to crack with Beterbiev. Legit.
He was.
I don't know why.
It wasn't working. Look, and I've seen some. This worried me because I'm seeing I'm checking what the camps are saying, and Bivol's camp I've seen made a statement about how they believe Bivol can stop Beterbiev. And I said, I said, guys, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Because that's just to me, maybe they're doing some power training, maybe.
No.
And that would imply that they're going to look to try and trade with him again. I said, Bivol, don't do this. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Forget the power thing. You can't hurt this man. It is what it is. Look, I think he was landing flush, bopping his head back.
He was winning the exchanges. He was winning. He was landing it with the exchanges, but he was losing because he was getting more hurt.
He was taking a step back, And Beterbiev was just walking forward. Even though Bivol's cracked him just now. It's
four times. Cracked him 3-4 times.
Crazy.
Beterbiev would land one and Bivol looks the one he's hurt.
Low health bar straight away. It's like, how? Yeah, crazy. So I hope they're not trying to do some power focused training and what. No, please don't do it. You can't win this way. You can't.
Yeah, boxing.
So aside from the power thing and the clinching, I think I agree with. Unfortunately, it is, I think, just gonna be luck of the draw with judges. I'll be so real. Unfortunately. It's peak. Luck of the draw with judges. Maybe try not to. Also, I think save some in the tank for the second half.
Yeah.
Because that first half, he looked electric to me, Flowz, in his activity and whatnot. And it's fair to say, second half, that's when Beterbiev really started to ramp it up. Because obviously, Beterbiev's camp felt they were losing. So it's like they, put the battery in his back to go, Arthur, go for it. We need these rounds. So Beterbiev, you saw visually stepped up the gas and started walking him down and said, cool, I'm just going to try and throw these big bombs and catch you and try and get you out of there. And Bivol, as you saw, the activity definitely did wane towards the end, especially the last 2 rounds, I think were hell for him, to be honest, bro. Last 2 rounds were peak. So if he can try and save some in the tank for the final 2 rounds, last couple rounds, that will do him massive, I think, a massive service in terms of winning over the judges, because optically it looks bad when you have a round when you're kind of getting washed, or, the other guys are completely outlanding you, out-throwing you, that kind of stuff, and you're almost on survival mode for a large portion of the round. And then cool, you have your typical Bivol moments, we try and steal it at the end, but we've just seen you for two minutes kind of get worked. So if you can try and save some in the tank for that, that would be good. Obviously, I know it's hard because Bivol's a mover, and that takes a lot of energy. And Beterbiev is a pressure fighter, so that's also going to sap energy. But if he can do that, that would be superb. I think that'll put him in good stead. All now, though, bro, I don't know who's going to win this. I'll be so real. I don't know. Because, again, we're now factoring judges, too.
Yeah,
because because we can say this, but it's like, and look, I was so sure Bivol won that fight in that first fight.
Yeah.
And even the guys I knew that said prior to the fight that they think Beterbiev is going to win this, they've even said, you know what, you're right. I thought Bivol took that. So when that result came out, I was like, damn, I thought it was clear to me. So we're now factoring judges, bro. So, and because we don't know who the judges are or what the judge is going to be on, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's crazy. Some people had Beterbiev comfy.
Yeah.
Legit comfy.
Mm-hmm.
We had it close, I think, and we just gave it to Bivol. I think, most of the boxing world felt Bivol won.
Yep.
I think it's, like you say, it's down to judges.
It's down to judges, man.
If I had to pick one, I'm going to side with Bivol again. I think.
Swear. Okay.
I thought he'd done enough to win that last one. And I think if he makes the right adjustments, I think that the adjustments are there for him to win it a bit more convincingly, by just being a bit more sensible rather than going toe to toe with.
Look, I'm really worried about the adjustments, bro, because, like I said, I don't want them to think that we have to work really hard to wobble this guy and hurt this guy. That's the only way we can beat it. That's the only way we can win the judges' eyes, because they want to see, because they could be thinking, well, they gave it to him because he hurt us a few times. Well, let's work on trying to hurt him, because they could think that. And if that's the case, that's going to play right into Beterbiev's hands, and that's going to make it worse. So if Team Bivol operate in the same way that they kind of did on that first fight, but just maybe, saving a bit more energy for, the later rounds, I'm going to go Bivol again. But yeah, it's such a 50-50. The first one was a 50-50 anyways, as we said.
Yeah.
The first fight, I struggled to pick a winner. I just about gave it to Bivol, just a bit, after flip-flopping 50 times. This one, again, it's the same thing for me. I don't know. I really don't know, bro. Yeah. I just hope to see Bivol not make crazy adjustments in terms of trying to stand toe-to-toe with him. He can't do that. It's just not going to work against this guy.
He was blocking the shots and getting...
And it was crap. Yeah.
cracking him in his own face from the shots. He was getting hurt from blocking shots.
Yeah. Then people were saying, "Oh, look at his face, look competitive." No, if you watch, it was all on the gloves, all on the gloves.
Get mash up from his own glove.
But that's the power this guy possesses. It's freakish. It's freakish. Yeah, but Beterbiev himself, he has to, you're right, he has to go to the body, slow Bivol's movement down. I was shocked that I predicted that would happen in the first fight, and he didn't do it. I was shocked.
Yeah.
So he's a brilliant boxer himself, and he's got good boxing brains behind him too. So I expect Beterbiev's camp to also make that adjustment. Maybe they will go to the body more early to make Bivol slow down more before. But at least he definitely has the confidence of, I can take this guy's power quite comfortably and walk through it.
Yeah.
We can't forget, Beterbiev is not invincible chin-wise. We've seen him go down.
From power punches.
That's what I'm saying. But obviously, but I'm saying he's not some, guy that can't be stopped. Beterbiev, look, someone hits hard enough, he's going to go down.
Yeah.
Or wobbled. Yard wobbled him. Johnson put him on his ass. So, but with Bivol, he knows straight up that this guy can't hurt me. So if he gets on his bike, in terms of if he gets on his walking down thing early, bro, it could play into Bivol's hands, but could also be peak for him because Bivol showed that bravado in the first fight to trade with this guy. Don't show that bravado, bro. For me, Bivol's keys to victory are simple. Save some energy for the final rounds, for the last couple of rounds, and don't try and trade this guy. Pop, and get the hell out. Because last time he was popping and staying in the pocket with him, and he might get caught, and it's like, oh my gosh, he's hurt. You know what I mean? So try and do that. So less ego, more love, less ego. Word to Wizkid. But yeah, that's it really. That's it. But Beterbiev goes to the body early, and it should pay dividends. You can slow Bivol down, and that can set up the knockout. But yeah, man, look, I'm hoping this is another classic. I think it will be, and I'm fully expecting us to be having a hotly debated review next week Sunday, bro. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, look, again, what a card. What are you doing to me, man? Turkey. His Excellency. Shout out to His Excellency, man. Yeah, bro. I think that's it, really. I mean, other boxing news, quite a few fights have been announced and stuff. I don't know if you saw. I tuned into the Whittaker Cameron 2 presser was there.
Yeah.
Whittaker's being his usual bullish self. It's the comments. Oh my gosh, they hate this man so much.
I ain't seen it yet, but I saw it's been announced.
When you see, because obviously, do you see the presser?
Nah.
No, you're much. Okay, cool. But when you see the presser and we look at the comments, bro, yeah, it's dark. They want this guy to die. They hate this guy so much. And what kills me is he's probably going to go and watch Cameron now. To make it even worse.
He has to. He has no choice but to.
Yeah. So you saw that. There was another fight recently got announced as well. Canelo is fighting William Skull. You know, see, you mentioned how he signed the 4 fight. So you know he signed the 4 fight. Yes.
Yeah, I know he signed this. I know he signed the deal.
The first fight's going to be with Skull because you know Skull's a champion, the other champion, because you know Canelo had all 4 belts. He vacated one. He vacated one because he didn't want to fight the mandatory. Skull then fought for the vacant title and won it. So now Canelo's going to fight Skull for the undisputed title again, so he can get undisputed again. So yeah, and I think afterwards, then it's going to be the Crawford fight potentially afterwards. But yeah, Canelo Skull has basically been agreed, so that's going to happen. I think. Nice come out for Skull, but yeah, yeah. I think there was one more fight that got announced recently, but I can't think of it now. But yeah, some more fights coming our way, which is good. Yeah, man, boxing is thriving. I look forward to next week. But yeah, it's cool. And like there, Flowz, episode 235 of the StrapSZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, you don't know where to find us on the streaming platforms. Peace.
You should get a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.